That's going now as well. So let me check that. Okay, I have you in. Very nice. All right, fantastic. So we are just still waiting for a couple more people to file in, and then we will go ahead and get this stream started. Today is all about small business subcontracting. So we're going to look into exactly what you need as a government contractor, and then go into the specifics of different tools you can use, best business practices, industry standards that are out there right now, all the specifics that pertain to that. That's what we're diving into. So let's give it a couple more minutes and then I will turn my camera back on, share my screen, and we can go ahead and get started. It's not my best picture. Hello and welcome to everyone just joining in right now. We are also live streaming to YouTube and Twitch. Yeah, we're waiting right now until 2:05 for anybody else that's filing in, and then we're going to go ahead and get started with the stream. If you have any questions right off the bat, you have any chat for wherever you are currently watching from, go ahead and pop those in there. Or if anything comes up throughout the stream, please let me know. And then at the end, we'll be able to go over all of those different questions and we'll definitely be able to have that live one-on-one. That I think is going to be the most beneficial part of today's chat. And the topics for everything we're going over today should be focused on small business subcontracting, best practices inside of the industry, and really anything that you all as the audience want to focus on. So if there's anything that comes up while we're talking, anything that you want to make sure we go over right now, let me know. So just 1 or 2 more minutes and then we will go ahead and get started. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. I am going to share my screen right here. So everybody should be able to see what I see. Okay. I will have the chat open in my sidebar. So whenever anybody has questions or if anything comes up, I'll be able to see that and dive right into it. What we're looking at here is the Teaming Pro dashboard. If any of you have a Teaming Pro account, you will be familiar with this page, but we're going to dive into everything here, what the different things are, and specifically for small businesses, for subcontractors, we're going to focus on AutoConnect, which you can find partly. AutoConnect is right here, and there are other parts throughout the platform. We are also going to focus pretty heavily on pipeline management, which you can find here in the navigation. And we are also going to focus on BDAi. So BDAi is our homegrown tool. It works with you throughout the platform. It'll send you some emails throughout the week with recommendations. It's very customizable, but you need to know the different screens and the strategy you want to focus on. So for BDAi, a lot of that will be inside of the settings here. So those are going to be the three main places that I plan on focusing right now for the call. If you all have anything specific that you've noticed inside of Teaming Pro, anything that you wanted to go over inside of the platform, then we can definitely do that. Just let me know and I'll make a note of it. So diving in right now, I just want to set a general overlay for what Teaming Pro is. This is a B2B connections platform. So my name is Ben Haggerty. I created Teaming Pro with my dad, Tim Haggerty. We created it a couple years ago. We've been building, adding on new features, and doing a lot of crowdsourcing, going to conventions, and honing in on the specific barriers to entry for the government contracting industry specifically, and all the different pain points, all the places that small businesses are either finding backlogs in their business or they don't have access to the tools or the resources or the expertise and experience that they might need to make the right decisions. So Teaming Pro started off as just a better way to access data. It was government contracting data, company data, anything that like SAM.gov, FPDS.gov, these other different government websites had available, but they're very clunky. They don't work well. The searching doesn't really work very well in certain times, and it takes a bit to get used to each platform, and you have five, six, sometimes a lot more. And depending on your strategy, that usually doesn't make sense. Learning all those different government platforms that they will sometimes change, but usually those changes aren't based on recommendations or feedback from users. And that's what Teaming Pro is bringing. This is a user-based platform built for government contractors and B2B companies, and it's designed to make life easier. The whole point is just to help you get to the actual meat of doing business as quickly as possible. So, to that end, let's dive right in. I don't see any questions right now, but I will make sure that I keep a lookout. And please just feel free to hop into that comments tab whenever you have something come up. So, for right now, let's go ahead and get started with just what the Teaming Pro dashboard here is and the different things that are on it. Here in the middle of the dashboard, these are quick buttons. So this is based on the Teaming Pro network. These are active companies that are all registered inside of Teaming Pro. They could be government contractors. They could be government agencies. We have some small business development centers, some .edus, education, different institutions and organizations. So Teaming Pro has a cluster of different companies and different types of organizations that all have their own strategies and their focuses. So when it comes down to companies, for the small businesses and the large businesses, you have two main types of companies. You have SAM.gov registered and you have commercial companies. So The federal contracting companies are the ones that are registered in SAM.gov. Those companies have a NAICS code that has been given to them by the government, and they are qualified and they are able to work with the government. So here inside of small businesses, for example, clicking on this will bring you to our company search, and you will automatically see all of the small businesses inside of TeamingPro. If you look here at the UEI number, these two companies are registered in SAM.gov because they have a unique UEI. If this started with TP underscore, then I would know that they are not registered in SAM.gov. They work with companies that are registered, but they do not have their own registration. So they're inside of the TeamingPro network. They are active on TeamingPro working with different companies, but they are not SAM registered. So they are separate in terms of that. That's the big difference between different company types on the platform. You have SAM registered companies, and you have the commercial companies that might offer products or different services or provide support on a contract, but they are not themselves, they're not winning specific contracts or work like that. So I don't see any questions on that front. I will go ahead and keep moving forward there. So that is networking and connections right here. You have the different company types, the different user types. This will bring you to that search that we looked at. And then down here, you have different set-asides and specific types of businesses. So the government awards these types of companies most highly. These are the 4 different types of companies that the federal government will provide sole source contracts to. So if you are one of these companies, or if you are partnered with one of these companies, they are able to win sole source contracts, which the government will put out specifically for these types of companies only. So if it's an 8A sole source and I am an 8A company, I will only be competing with other 8A companies. The competition is cut off for anybody that is ineligible. So the different sole source contracts have different rules and regulations. Some of them, it's easier for some groups than others to get sole source contracts approved, but that is on the contract side right here. I just want everybody to be able to see all the different types of specific companies and user types that are on the platform. All of these are preset searches inside of that company search, where you can get a nice hefty list of different specific companies. So that is networking and connections. If you have a specific company, if you know somebody, if you want to do research on someone, you met a specific company that you are interested in learning more about, all of our search functions are up here in the top navigation. So here under search, instead of going to the normal company search that we just looked at, you can go to company lookup, and this will let you search for a specific company inside of the network or inside of SAM.gov, or a commercial company that is not TeamingPro registered that we still have the information for. So to clarify that for everybody, TeamingPro, the search for companies, if they are active on the network, then that will be specified. So Worldwide LLC, for example, they do not have an active button. They are not actively connecting. All I can see is general details and add them to my CRM here on their profile. So this company we have information for, but they are not registered on TeamingPro. The breakdown for that for data is we have every single federal contracting company that is currently registered. We also have around 25,000 active users on TeamingPro using the network between agencies, companies, and the like. We also have 800,000 commercial companies that fall into that other category where they are not registered in SAM.gov, but they are still actively working and networking and partnering with SAM companies and providing their work however they can. So I do not see questions here currently. I will go ahead and continue. Back here on the dashboard, next to networking and connections is the first main thing that I want to get into, and that is going to be BDAi. So here are all of your opportunities and contracts that are either on SAM.gov, FPDS, or alike. It is everything that is publicly available, condensed and refined, cleaned up so you don't see duplicate recommendations, and updates are all compiled into one list so you don't have to sift through 5 or 10 different updates for one contract. Now, what BDAi does, this section right here are what we call AUTOCONNECT matches. These are BDAi recommendations. So RAI, your business development support help, it is basically your personal business developer. Every day, he scours SAM.gov, they scour FPDS, and they are focused on bringing back the best possible work that they can find. Sorry, I'm just reading this question now for layout. Tribally owned companies, how do we find them and filter them? Absolutely. Tribally owned, I don't, yeah. So we have the American and Native and Indian owned companies right here, along with Alaskan Native owned companies here. So Asian Pacific, different types of tribally owned companies are specified in those searches. But here under networking and connections, going to the main company search, if you want tribally owned companies, then you would go here under business types and you would specify that I am looking for tribal owned. So, oh, here you go. Tribally owned firm. So you can specify the different types as well. But for business types under tribally owned, there are 1759. I hope that answered the question. I apologize if I got to that a little bit late, but thank you. That was a fantastic question. So those are the company searches. You have marketed search right there where it said federal only. That is how you can specify between SAM companies and commercial companies. But the search right there, if you'd like to go back into that later, it has a lot of different ways to refine and filter everybody that's inside of the Teaming Pro network. So between the commercial companies, the SAM companies, government agencies, and alike, there are around 1.3, 1.4 million of them. So that search does a fantastic job at refining the specific ones based on what you're looking for in the moment. So we can absolutely go back to the search in a moment if that is beneficial. I would love to dive into that more for you. Now, this is just the company search that we specify here under networking and connections. Wonderful. Thank you. So we also have contracts and opportunities. BDAi, you get those daily matches and recommendations here on your dashboard every single day. Now, every day you also have access to the opportunity and contract searches, which are just a Teaming Pro way to search through FPDS or for opportunities, SAM.gov. So instead of going to those specific websites and learning their different functionalities and sifting through their pages, you can search through Teaming Pro directly and find that specific contract or opportunity that you were looking into. Now, the platform is designed so you do not have to do that. The way we designed Teaming Pro is that anything your company would be interested in should already be showing up here on your dashboard. Now, these are the most important, the most direct, and the best matches that we found today. These matches all get compiled over time in your general matched opportunities and matched contracts. So here up top, you can get to all of your main matches from your history. And then here down below in your AUTOCONNECT matches, this is where you can find your daily BDAi matches, where every morning you get a fresh list of contracts and opportunities. It will give you the high level details. And for the contracts, the contract value will be available so you can see how much the previous bid was for and how much money was awarded, really. So based on this information, you should be able to make a pretty confident decision on whether or not your company is going to be interested or if it's not something that you want to spend your time on. Based on that, this is where your first interaction with BDAi will usually take place. Right here on the dashboard, along with here inside of the matched opportunities and inside of the searches as well. So really, anywhere that contracts are available and anywhere that opportunities are available, you also have the option to train your company's BDAi. So whether you like it or dislike it, it will start learning your specific preferences. So it might be something from the description that caught your eye. It might be the dollar value. Whatever specifically pushed you to making that decision to either like it or deny it, BDAi will slowly learn those preferences, and that will just improve the search every single day the more that you use it. Now, with that being said, there are also ways for you to immediately improve BDAi. So that is going to be inside of the settings. Up here, right inside of the opportunities main header, you can click on Edit Filters. And that brings you to settings, a page that we're actually going to be going to just in a little bit here. And on that settings page, you can get specific customization options for BDAi. So you can immediately update those matches that you're receiving, update the days that you want matches to come in, and really specify what your company wants based on the strategy that makes sense. So for the dashboard, here on the left, you have your matched opportunities and your matched contracts. This is everything market research wise and discovery wise that you would be going and looking into. Now, here in the middle of the dashboard is the TeamingPro network. You can go directly into searching and filtering and finding different companies that might not be on TeamingPro actively working, but they are here in the network or in the industry and able to work with you. So let me see about this question. How do we change our matched opportunities negs? We're an AE firm, but our negs is architectural services. Fantastic question. So two options with that. The first question that you have to ask is, are you registered in SAM.gov? So here for TeamingPro, in opportunities, if you click on Edit Filters, that is going to bring you to settings. Here inside of settings, you have two different types of BDAi. The company mode BDAi is what you're automatically looking at when you first log into TeamingPro. And then the system will remember which one you focus on normally, and it will either bring up company mode or user mode based on what you're normally looking at and interacting with. Now, user mode here is specifically for you as an individual inside of your company. Company mode is for everybody inside of the company. Your company admin is able to update it, and this will actually show exactly what your SAM.gov profile has at this current time. So the way company mode is currently set up is to have SAM.gov automatically give the we get the information from SAM.gov, and whenever anything is updated there, that is brought over for your company mode settings. and automatically inputted. So awesome. You're registered in sam.gov. That would mean that here inside of your company mode settings, your negs category and your PSC code are going to be grayed out. That, if anything gets changed in SAM, that'll also get changed here on TeamingPro immediately. But right now, the way that that's set up is that sam.gov is the only place to change your company mode settings. With that being said, if you have a paid TeamingPro account, you have access to your user mode settings, which is a duplicate of company mode, except fully customizable by you. So you will get company mode and user mode matches every morning, and you will get emails for both modes based on when you want to receive emails. So here under BD email schedule, it's automatically set once a week for every Wednesday for company mode and user mode emails, but just toggle your preferences here and everything will automatically save moving into the future. So you don't have to worry about anything there getting lost or any data not transferring over. And then here inside of company mode and user mode, your company mode is generally for everybody to be on the same page as what you want to go after as a company. That's why it's based off of your sam.gov profile. Now, user mode is here because there's always going to be something specific that you're targeting. Based on your strategy, it could be in line with your primary negs and what's in sam.gov. But more often than not, you're testing the waters in a different field. You want to see about different agencies potentially. There are a lot of different reasons that you will move away from what sam.gov has and what your primary negs is focused on, and you might branch into other options. So that is where you just want to make sure that you update user mode exactly how you want it, because this is going to be fully customizable and the best, absolute best way to get those refined matches. So you said, yeah, you had your specific negs codes. You chased 236220. I would absolutely add those negs codes to your user mode profile. That way, you know that you're getting those matches and nothing's getting missed. So I hope that that answered that question. I can absolutely come back to this or go into more detail if you'd like. Fantastic. Thank you. Okay. So that is the bulk of BDAI. It's really just SAM.gov and FPDFs and wherever the public contracts and opportunities are posted. We pull that in, aggregate it, clean all the data up, and then recommend those based on your profile. And then, like I said, here on the dashboard and anywhere else you might have those matches show up, even inside of the search, when you're searching directly, you can still train BDAI at any moment and help improve those matches a little bit more every single time. So that is BDAI. It's a newer tool. We are definitely still improving it. The AI is constantly being expanded and just getting more features every single day, really. So we're extremely excited about that. It is definitely being developed based on feedback from our customers and our users. So if there's anything that stands out or anything that has come up, we love hearing about that. We need to hear about that because that is what TeamingPro is built from. That's how we get better and better. So please just let us know anything improvements wise, feedback wise, things that we've done well, anything that we can know just to help us understand where we are in your minds and where we can get to. That's what makes TeamingPro better every single time. And that's where a lot of this came from, like BDAI. And that is also where pipeline management came from. A way to filter the companies in TeamingPro by registered address or HQ, which states these companies chase work as well. Company or HQ. We can absolutely do it by registered company HQ. If you go into the company search, Then HQ location is an option right here. You can do it based on city, state, which is usually the best. State is specific US regions, and then you also have zip code, which is fairly popular. If you're working internationally, then we do offer country options as well. So you can find them based on HQ locations very easily. And then here under contract wins, depending on your focus, you want to make sure you're toggling for current active contracts that they're working on or just anything that they've won in the past. And then here you can specify exactly where they were working that contract. So underneath contract location, sam.gov does not always provide accurate or consistent information. But one thing that they are more consistent on than anything else is providing a zip code. That is why we do default to zip code searches just whenever we are offering a search based on sam.gov or FPDFs. That's because the government, when they do a good job, it's with zip code specifications and their consistency when it comes to zip codes versus cities, state, or other things like that. Zip code is just drastically better and much more reliable than anything else that they do offer. So that is why when you're searching for contract wins and where companies have specifically worked contracts, we do only offer the zip code search here with the mile radius. And then you can search however multiple zip codes you're interested in searching for. So then it all comes back to what I said in the beginning. Make sure you know what your strategy is and you're specifying whether you're looking for active contracts that the company is currently working on or contract work that they've done in the past. So I hope that that answered that question there. And that comes back to that. If state is beneficial to you, that is something that we have the ability to offer. Absolutely. It's something that we can put into the filtering. The reason we have not done it currently is because the government is inconsistent with their data. So it is going to take us a little bit of time to have a fully reliable transition where we take the zip code from the government and correlate that with a specific location without any bleed over in different states or counties. So when we have that completed, we will be very excited and make sure everybody knows about that because that will help align all of this data up extremely well. But at the moment, and probably for the next month or so, foreseeable future in terms of our roadmap for what we're currently building on and new projects wise, zip code is best practice for what we currently have. But let me know what you think. Is state a would be very helpful if states added to the filter in one state alone. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, no, that is a great point. The main thing was because some contracts are worked inside of a zip code that's general, so they could have two zip codes or three that bleed over into a different state with the federal work. But if state is important to you, then we want that in there. So yeah, absolutely, state is going to be added in. Yeah, state plus zip code is going to be what we naturally do. Oh, absolutely. Thank you for offering the feedback. I mean, like I said, this is where we learn what you're interested in, what we can provide to make it better and better. So, yeah, we will probably set it up exactly like we have HQ location here. So you can start with zip code and then if you want to, or you can specify based on any of the other different types of location data that we have. So hopefully this works well. I haven't heard any complaints from this type of searching so far, but we keep our ears peeled. Definitely let us know. So, but yeah, that is searching for companies based on their specific information. Now, with that being said, We have our tool AUTOCONNECT, which was designed. Oh, I'm in SAM searching for opportunities for the last 3 years. Oh, beautiful. Okay. Yeah, so that makes sense. You're looking and you're specifying based on state. You want to be able to come over and specify based on state. Understood. Awesome. Yeah, and this is Teaming Pro is developing, and based on these, this is how we figure out what to make next and what to improve on next. So we are actually already talking about improving our searches and making them easier and more accessible for everybody, even people that are just completely unfamiliar with government contracting whatsoever. So I'll make sure when we talk about that next that we add state to the radar and we can start working on putting that into the contract location. Because you're right, it's something that you want and it's something that's helpful to you. So it's something we should have. So, anyways, that is the searching. What I want to look into right now, if it works with everybody here, that I want to talk a little bit about one of our newer features, which is AutoConnect. So I'm not sure if any of you have sent AutoConnects yet. We have gone back and forth on exactly how to structure AutoConnect and the best approach to take with it. But now the service, the tool is fully released and ready to go. So the way AutoConnect stands now is every opportunity and every contract, just like having BDAi, you have the option to send an AutoConnect. So right now, just like you said, currently you are going into your searches, whether it's sam.gov or otherwise, you're searching, you find something that you're interested in, and the next question is partners. Who do I know? Who could I know? Who is the best person or the best company to write my proposal with and to team up with? Because we're stronger together, we write stronger proposals together. And this is specifically about subcontracting for this episode. So I do want to be able to focus on that as well. And AutoConnect is huge when it comes to finding good prime contractors. So the BDAi thumbs up and thumbs down will automatically, over time, it will help AutoConnect understand your preferences and whether you like to subcontract or prime contract more. But regardless of that, when you find a contractor opportunity that you're interested in, or if you found one on sam.gov or otherwise, then you can come on here, search for it through Teaming Pro, and then this is what we call an AutoConnect quick launch. So for this matched opportunity or this matched contract, I have 35 companies inside of Teaming Pro that are active inside of our 25,000 active users. They are also matched to this opportunity or contract, just like my company is. So they are eligible to work on this with me. And basically now I can choose what do I want to do? So this is all pre-populated with the details based on what I was looking at. So this contract is already ready to go. The AutoConnect has everything that I need, but I want to do a little bit more. If I was satisfied with what we have here, I can even update the certain things like this, like I'm looking for a partner. And this is a brand new bid, but we are putting together a new proposal. So specify whatever you're looking for based on the AutoConnect you want to create. And then here inside of the edit, if you do want to refine it further, this on the right side is available on every AutoConnect. And this is how you can refine those searches and those results. So from the 35 companies we looked at earlier, that is based on federal contracting companies that have it's not their primary NEGs, but they have a NEGs code of 541511, which lines up with the NEGs code for that contract. And they, oh, right, we were working on this. I apologize. this PSC code is in. This has just been a little glitch that we are working on. So the PSC code that correlates with this NEGS and with the contract has also been matched to their profile here on TeamingPro. So those two together, combined with them only being federal contracting companies, that put together the search, and that's what gave us these 35 companies. So if I want to look for commercial companies, if I only want to reach out to large businesses and I don't want any small businesses to get this AutoConnect, I can start using these filters and refining from there and really honing in on exactly what my specifications are, what my best partner would be. And then with that, I can launch my AutoConnect. So just to show you an example, I'm not sure where anybody got to this training from, but to promote the training, I did release an AutoConnect. So for this specifically, I went out to small businesses inside of the TeamingPro network. It was very general. And then this is what we call our AutoConnect web page. So all of those companies that I invited to the Zoom meeting to participate, they were all able to come in and access this web page and see the specifics on what we were talking about, where we were going to be meeting. I was able to add files if I was interested in it, specific requirements, any unique video that pertained to this. I was able to add all of those specifications and anything unique about the meeting. And this is exactly what you would do if you have a contract or an opportunity that you're interested in partnering on. You would add the overview, any specific details, and then requirements that you're interested in your partner having. So you're looking for prime the contractors, specify that you want to only work with prime contractors. That way, here in your high levels, this is going to be one of the first things those companies see. And it will be nice and easy for them to say, yes, you line up with what I want to do. It's obvious you have something you are able to work on that you are interested in working on. Let's have a conversation. And that's where AutoConnect gets you. That's the goal for AutoConnect, and that's the purpose. The purpose for AutoConnect is getting you in the room with something to talk about so you can have the right conversations with the right people at qualified companies. Because at the end of the day, we go to these conventions and we shake all these hands because we're trying to find partners. We don't know what work might come up in the future. You might have something right now, but we are still trying to get those relationships because something like this will eventually come up. At some point, we will find a contract, we will find an opportunity that we would like to work on, and the only barrier is who we know. And that is the purpose for AutoConnect, is breaking down that barrier. So it's not based on who you know, it's who you can talk to. It's what conversation are you having and what can you really bring to the table? So with that, that sums up AutoConnect. It is a specific way for you to get your company, and not just your company, but your company and a piece of work and something that's compatible in front of other qualified partners. So if you're looking for a prime company, one of the biggest things that here at Teaming Pro, our prime companies have told us is that they're always looking for small businesses. They are always interested in partnering, but they usually do not have something to partner on. So they love to hear from you. They want you in front of them, but they're waiting for something to come up. So if you approach the conversation with an opportunity in hand, with something that you can get them interested in, especially if it's something that's not currently on their radar, that is a conversation that they are willing to have, that they want to have. And that gets not only your foot in the door, but it gets you to the right people, because that's a conversation that it's worth their time. So they're going to care about it and they're going to put in that investment to sit down and really listen to you and set up whatever partnership makes sense. So that is the purpose for AutoConnect. Do we have any questions on that one so far? Just want to make sure I'm still watching YouTube and our live streaming. But okay, with that, I will go ahead and continue on there. So AutoConnect and BDAi are two homegrown functions that are inside of TeamingPro, and their entire focus is discovery and market research. Automate all the heavy lifting, anything that either you don't have experience doing, you don't have the time to do, or you just should not be doing because you're either the owner of your business or otherwise your focuses could be better spent elsewhere. And that's a huge problem here personally at Teaming Pro we had to overcome. And a lot of other companies that we've interviewed and talked and have conversations with, they also come up to the exact same struggle of focusing their time and their resources, figuring out exactly what they should be emphasizing, what they should be putting the money into and the time into. And in a lot of those cases, the legwork is necessary, but if you could automate it, it opens you up to do so much more for your business. So AutoConnect, BDAi, they're designed to help make that legwork instantaneous. They bring the companies to you, they bring the contracts to you, and they make everything nice and easy for you to say yes or no and move from there. So with that being said, here on our dashboard, we have the opportunities on the left, which is everything we just talked about. The main network and all the searching that pertains to the network is here in the middle, which is everything we talked about in the beginning. And then here on the right side, this is going to be your reporting. So your AutoConnect, any invitations, any AutoConnects that are sent to you, those are going to show up right here. Any AutoConnect that you have sent to other companies, any AutoConnect that you sent out, those responses, the interest, anything that comes back from that will show up right here. Now, with that being said, you also have your visibility report right here and your direct messages. These are completely separate from AutoConnect. They are in various places around the platform. Your visibility reports are just different places that your company is active and available. Your information can be displayed. Your company page is a Teaming Pro website, a web page that your company is full customization ability for. So here, this is our Teaming Pro company page where you can find high-level details about us, our social media accounts, and figure out who we are generally as a company. Now, the other visibility reports here are just other places that you show up in. Here for us in Teaming Pro, we are inside of 20 different CRMs. So we have 20 different companies that are partnered with us that have put us in their CRM on Teaming Pro. We have over 50 companies in our CRM. Ours is quite substantial, but we like to keep it that way. We like having a full influx. So the visibility report is just generally these are the numbers of where your company has been seen and where your company is able to be seen. So the higher these numbers get, the better, in our opinion. But again, that is entirely based on your company strategy. The AutoConnect numbers are the AutoConnect numbers. Direct messages can be sent from different places on the website. You can receive them from your company page. You can receive direct messages from AutoConnects that you have responded to. And there are other places as well, like your company profile. So if you do receive a direct message, these come from individuals. It's just like any other direct messages that you may see from any other website or application. If you have any questions about this, I am more than happy to go through it. It will say new right here if the message is unread. And then it's nice and straightforward where you can click in, respond. It will let you know when responses were sent and who specifically had the conversation. So it provides nice details on exactly what conversations you've had and who you had them with. It's on a company level and it's designed based on conversation. So if there are any DM questions, I would be happy to go into that. But if not, then I will dive into the last section that I wanted to focus on, which is pipeline management. Now, this is going to be the newest section on TeamingPro. Yes, perfect. Is there a way to filter the recent awards per negs per state? Where specifically? Recent awards. Okay. Inside of the recommendations here, I don't believe we have that filtering power. I believe that currently is only inside of the actual searches. So just to confirm that, yes. So filtering inside of your recommendations is based on the agency that released the opportunity or the contract. For those specific filters, you have your opportunity search, which is searching sam.gov, and your contract search, which is searching FPDS. Here on the left, these are fairly identical for both searches. Now, let me see specifically recent awards per negs and per state. So, recent awards, I believe those would be under contracts. Negs code is going to be right here. So the negs code is nice and straightforward. You can usually always find negs code filters with whatever you're interested in specifying. So professional services, this is a nice general category, and there are a lot of tech companies. So this usually comes back with a large amount of good results. 1 million. Wonderful. Okay. Now, over here, expiring date range. So it looks like, there we go. Awarded date range. Sorry, it was right in front of me, so of course I couldn't see it. The awarded date range will be how you filter specifically the recent awards, and more specifically, exactly how recent you want them to be. So whether it was awarded today, a week ago, however long you want that time frame to be, you're going to go right here into your awarded date range. So that's that. And then I do believe I know that we have zip code. I believed we had state. If we do not have state, then that's going to be the same conversation in here that it is in the others as well. So yes, I have those notes about state. So that will be added right here with zip code, just like we have with the company search. So I'm going to have that conversation. But in the meantime, when you're using the searching, since states, countries, the government's not as consistent with them, it might not always show up, but you can come down here to the keywords, and underneath the keyword search, you can specify what state you're looking at. And if the government did put that information in correctly, then that contract will show up. If not, then once we have the updates and improvements in the filtering and searching, then that'll be available for you. But currently, the keyword search, hopefully, that will bring back a large amount of results. Like I said, the government's not very consistent when it comes to providing state, country, and that specific demographic information. They're much better when it comes to just general zip codes for whatever reason. I guess zip codes are based on numbers, so that might be the answer right there. But yes, that is AutoConnect and BDAi. The last thing is pipeline. This is our newest current addition to TeamingPro. And basically take everything that we've talked about so far, and this is how you organize it. So let me see. Oh, perfect. Absolutely. Thank you. Please keep the questions coming. It's fantastic. So yes, this is pipeline management. It is based on the Shipley pipeline model. I'm not sure if anyone's familiar with Shipley. I was not at the beginning, but I'm very, very familiar with it currently. So Shipley's been around for decades. They're very good at what they do, and basically they came up with a organized best practice for pipeline management. There are plenty of different types of pipelines. This pipeline is your contract pipeline specifically. It is designed to take you from discovery through market research all the way to contract management after you've already won. So supply chain management is not currently inside of the pipeline, but it does hold some of those capabilities. So even after you have won your contract, it will sit inside of this bucket, and there are still some abilities for you to manage your team while working that. But supply chain management is something that we're very interested in, and that is another barrier that just it keeps a lot of small businesses from becoming prime contractors. And it's something that our customers have certainly talked about that we want to make sure they have resources to help them with. So, supply chain management is not the focus of the pipeline. That is after you have won your contracts. The pipeline specifically is focused on organizing your outreach and your engagement. So here inside of your interest bucket, anything that's added to the pipeline is automatically added to interest. And inside of here, you can see all of your high level details, the current value assigned to the contract, and anything that has been specified. This is automatically inputted when you add something to your pipeline. So I will show you right here from the dashboard. If you're in the contract or the opportunity search, if you are inside your matches right here, or if you're on your dashboard, anywhere you're looking at a contract or an opportunity, you have a pipeline button right here underneath BDAi. If you click on it, it will be a nice, easy function. It opens up the details in another page. And now this record has been added to my pipeline in the interest bucket. So if I want to look at and edit the details, I can do that right here. But just to go back to that page to show you what I was talking about, sorry, wrong button. Dashboard right here will bring me back to my pipeline dashboard, where I can see I now have this brand new contract from Veterans Affairs worth $750,000 that I am in pursuit of. So speaking of, now that I'm interested in this contract, if I want to pursue this contract, then I will click on it here. And right here for my pipeline bucket, I will just simply switch it over. And instead of interest, now it's in pursue, and a couple different things happen. So if you're a free Teaming Pro user, you have access to the interest bucket and your closed buckets as well. If you have any Teaming Pro subscription, then you have full access to all buckets, and you can switch from the interest bucket to the pursue bucket, unlocking the teammate functionality right here. So teammates, document uploading. Pipeline here is a general page for you to organize everything that's associated with this current bid. So the team that you're putting together, potential teammates along with current teammates, specific tasks that you have people working on, and any documents that you're working on putting together, or anything specific that pertains to this that you want everyone to have access to. Everything is kept in one place, available to the team, and specifically, it's available to you and every team member. But everything that your team members will put into your bucket, those updates from your team members are only available to you. You only have team members interacting with each other if you let that happen. As the owner of the pipeline bucket, you are considered the prime contractor and you have full, complete authority. So that is how pipeline is currently designed. You switch back and forth between your buckets. All of your teammates will be here below for you to receive and provide updates to. It will automatically monitor their contracts, certifications, company registration, and what we call health check will keep you updated on anything that is specific about that company. Anything that we think you should know about, health check keeps you in the know. So when it comes to pipeline management and procurement strategy, this is industry best practices from what we have learned our customers have struggled with, the backlog and the specific areas they have had to focus their time and their resources. This is our way of automating all of that and bringing those fixes full circle. So it takes all of the manual, all of the hundreds of thousands of dollars and the thousands of hours that are spent going to conventions without payoff. Because the one main thing that we want to stress is that your time is your most invaluable asset. You have time, which means that you have so much that you can do for your company. And the worst thing you can lose is more of your time. So TeamingPro, specifically pipeline management and AUTOCONNECT and these other tools have been designed specifically for you to automate and overcome those barriers to entry and speed up all of these manual processes so you can get right to where you need to be, right to the actual conversations, talking to the qualified recommended partners that you should be in front of anyway. It gets you to the right place a lot faster and with everything organized and ready to go. With that said, so far, are there any current questions? Thank you. Yes. And it's getting better. That's fantastic. Okay. So, with that, the last thing I want to leave everybody with is a very big update that we made with AUTOCONNECT in terms of pricing. So, I will come down here to our TeamingPro plans just to show this. So AUTOCONNECT, we have been working on to really specify the best way to bring it to everybody. Number 2, answer on my above question. Is there a way to filter opportunities per NEGs and per state? Absolutely. Filtering opportunities per NEGs or per state. When you log in, you'll see your main TeamingPro dashboard here. So specifically for opportunities under the search, the opportunities here, this is sam.gov. Searching here is just the same as searching there. So here on the left side, these searches are actually currently getting cleaned up and refined to look a little better and be easier to manage and to use. So you said NEGs and state. I believe it'll be the same as the contract. So yes, okay. NEGS code, my apologies. NEGS code is going to be right here. Nice and straightforward. NEGS will pretty much always be available to you. And then along with PSC code, different set-asides that they specified, all of that will be up here. Now, state is what we need to add in specifically. State is the one thing that we had that conversation. We need that, as you have clearly shown. Currently, the big hurdle to that is just the aggregating all that data, cleaning everything up, making sure that there is never going to be an issue between zip code and state and discrepancies there, because the government will, for some reason, only be accurate when they provide zip codes. Because of that, we need to be able to take those zip codes and turn them into everything else. And when the government provides 2 or 3 of them, that becomes a bit tedious. So we are in the process. We are definitely going to talk about that in our next meeting. But right now, if you're searching for state for opportunities, I would use the keyword search to try and specify what state you're interested in. I believe that right now that would provide the best results for what we're looking in. And then down here in place performance, you'll see that update as soon as we put it out. And I'll reach out to you specifically to let you know that we've added that as well. So that will absolutely be there. You'll have zip code along with state, country, county, and all of those. Of course. Thank you. So yeah, that just leads me to the pricing update that I wanted to talk about with AutoConnect. Currently, AutoConnect has had a cost associated to it for companies that click into your AutoConnect invitation. So that is now changed. If you are a free TeamingPro user, you can use TeamingPro for free for however long you would like to. You have one free account that you can have associated with your company, and that is always available to you. Now, AutoConnect, if you are a free user, pricing is entirely based on the companies that click into your invitation. So I believe I didn't have it up still. I apologize. So I logged myself out. So this will log me in, but here under AutoConnect, this invitation right here, if they click into this web page and they see your details, they have the ability to express interest. This is where we have been charging for AutoConnect. So currently that is $2 a click for free users. Now, that is the change that we just made. This is brand new. AutoConnect for any subscribing TeamingPro user is now completely free. Send, receive, receiving AutoConnects was always free, but now sending them is fully open. We want you to connect with as many qualified companies as you are possibly able to. And to that ends, we know that AutoConnect is helpful and necessary. So we want you to have access, and we don't want it to be a added stressor or anything confusing based on how much you should expect to pay. So for that, we just cut out AutoConnect pricing completely. As long as you are a subscribing TeamingPro member, you are fully, you have full access to AutoConnect, fully accessible. Everything there is available to you. You can send out those invitations and get that ball rolling with whoever you're interested in. So that is the big change that we made for AutoConnects. They are completely free if you're a subscribing member. And it's based on stuff just like this, feedback from our users. We are trying to figure out the best possible platform based on what you need and what your focuses and your strategies are. So with that said, this is TeamingPro, specifically TeamingPro for small businesses, for subcontractors. When you are trying to enter this industry, when you're trying to figure out your niche in particular with SAM.gov, the matches and BDAi and quickly being able to do market research, we've been told that it's invaluable. And we've seen it from our own uses as well as from other customers telling us how beneficial it's been. So please let me know if you have any more questions. I will be here for another 10 minutes or so. And if anything comes up, please put it in the chat. I'm more than happy to go over anything. And if not, I hope you all have a fantastic day. I am going to real quick. Oh, yes. How do we add a company that is not in Teaming Pro? To add recently, and I can't see. Are you adding them to your CRM or to a pipeline record? Or are you just creating an account? Yep, to your CRM. I don't know if that function is currently available for every Teaming Pro user. We have the function, but we had certain users that were abusing it. So I know that we added certain safeguards. I can't remember exactly if we opened that up fully. So let me just see here. Okay, no. So that is not. Yeah. So that's just not currently open because we did have users in the past that were adding some unsavory companies in here. And they were just companies that were not interested in being contacted. The company did not know who they were adding to their CRM. So it's a function that we had available. And since it was used in that way, we got rid of it for the majority of our users. So please just I will actually I'll reach out to you after the meeting here. I would love to just talk a little bit more, and I'm happy to help with either we can add them to the Teaming Pro system, or we can talk about hooking that up with your CRM. I mean, you are a Teaming Pro user, so as long as the function's used properly, we love for anybody to have that option. But we want to make sure that companies that are added to Teaming Pro that are not users are being added because they're known and they're being added for the right reasons. So right now, that is the situation for that. I appreciate you for bringing that up. Thank you. But yeah, um, that is Teaming Pro. Are there any other questions right now? Okay. Well, with that being said, for anybody that does not currently have a Teaming Pro account that is subscribing, if you have a free account, you are more than welcome to keep your free account as long as you would like to. If you do not have an account or if you would like to upgrade your account, we now are actually offering a bit of a discount. So here under manage subscription in the top of every page, if you click into here, you are soon going to see the option of adding a specific code. So underneath there, we currently have it when you are creating a brand new account, but we're going to be adding it for free accounts that are upgrading. But just so I can show you an example here, I am here to register an account. This is my general information. Oh, I apologize. I was registering a free plan. I should register a paid plan so I can demonstrate this correctly. Okay. Please feel free to call me or email me at any time. That is my actual information. So right here, this is what's going to be added to the upgrade field inside of Teaming Pro, but this is currently available for anybody creating a new account. The code for this is going to be TEAM, TEAM. So I will go ahead and add that to the chat right here. It does not have to be all caps. I prefer emphasis. So that is the unique discount code for anybody that is interested in upgrading their account. You will get 10% off, and it'll be a nice, easy way for you to see what the system is and get your feet wet. If you have any other questions, I will be here for another 5, maybe 10 minutes or so. And please let me know what comes up. I will head back to this page. It was fantastic with everybody. Thank you so much for all of the questions. We will be back next week. Next week, I'm focusing on prime contracting and large businesses using the site. So we will be focusing a lot more on market research and crowd surveys and specifically how to use AutoConnect the best. So applicable if we upgrade from basic to pro. Um, we haven't really thought about it. The discount was really an incentive for anybody that has not been paying currently, but you're interested in it. So I'll have a conversation today with Tim and I will reach out directly and let you know about that. It's not something that we thought about before. Oh, absolutely. And thank you so much for being like so interactive and responsive. This has been fantastic. Thank you. Webinar focusing on AutoConnect. Thank you. Absolutely. Okay, well, that solidifies what I'm talking about next week. Fantastic. Yeah, and this is the very first webinar that I'm doing. So that as you can see, I'm just learning. So any feedback on how today went or better things I can do in the future, different things I can do in the future, please let me know. That's definitely going to help me. So yeah, next week will be AutoConnect. I have I have everything titled and mentioning large businesses, but that is really going to be the focus is AutoConnect. Thank you so much. This is something that we've been planning for a little while. I needed to start doing it. So I'm yeah, I am actually currently traveling, but I had the time scheduled and my calendar clean. So I made sure that I had the ability and the Wi-Fi connection. So thank you so much for being here today. And we're going to be doing this every Wednesday moving forward. So webinars should never be far away. Absolutely. Oh my goodness. Uh, the training and strategy sessions and everything like this is so important. So I'm happy that I get to bring this to everybody and talk about all the different things that I've been learning and researching and uh, just all of this different information. So, okay, I think that that is going to about conclude the webinar for today. I will stop sharing my screen here. Um, YouTube link. Absolutely. This was all live streamed. I will send that right out and reach out directly about everything else we've talked about as well. So thank you so much. I will get all of that put together and compiled. For anybody else that was listening or that was here on the live streams, thank you so much for tuning in. This was a wonderful time. I'm hoping to get a lot more chat responses from you moving forward in the future. And hopefully I can figure out some good things to do to help improve that and boost just make it more inviting and easier. So I will be doing my research this week and I will be getting excited because I am pumped for next time. AutoConnect is huge. It's something that we know just doesn't exist in the industry right now. And we know that companies have found a lot of value using it. Us personally, we've used it a lot as Teaming Pro, and we have found a lot of value through it. So I am extremely excited about that. So yeah, thank you so much, and I look forward to next week. Have a great Wednesday.